Hello, guys. Welcome back to Football or Nothing channel. And it has been a very, very wonderful European week. Manchester United held to a 1-1 draw by FC Twente. People are calling for Erik Ten Hag's head. We'll discussing about that in the podcast today. And of course, we have a lot of wonderful games over the weekend. We'll be talking about that. And we sent you guys a link to drop your unapologetic football takes. We saw some response and we are going to be discussing some takes. Many of you send us some takes that if we say it out here, people will find you. So we're discussing about that. And of course, we want to rate our Start One Sub One Sell One edition as well. We'll do the rating. We are bringing to you three wonderful strikers. We'll be doing that as well. So I will not be doing all of this alone. My name is Kenny, your favorite host on this show, Football or Nothing. And before I introduce the other panel to you, Football or Nothing is all about the fun of the game. If you put the first letters of each word in Football or Nothing together, it gives you F-O-N. If you pronounce all of that together, it is fun. And on fun, we are here to have fun. So let me introduce the panel to you. I'm here with Erik. It caused some controversy. And you guys demanded for his head. I don't know, maybe we should cut off your head and give it to them.
Right? I still have my head.
And of course, H2O is in the building as well. H2O, let me start with you. Manchester United, they drew the game against FC Twente. Do you still think Erik Ten Hag is the man to drive this team forward? Because right now, fans are losing patience.
Well, for me, after that 20 game, I was quite very disappointed, especially in the players at the same time. But then again, I've already labeled that this season, any of my complaint is going to go to the manager because this is the third season. Whatever excuse you might want to put there, we've listened to those excuses before, and now we are at the point where can you just show us? Although in the previous episode, I think I mentioned that I can see the blueprint in terms of performance and the links up and the likes. But then again, we need results. We don't want to work on, we could have scored 10 goals. Work on those things. We don't want to keep coming. Okay, like this season, I think their pattern is to start playing draws. If we are not drawing, it's definitely we are losing. We've only won, I think, 2 games. So eventually, it's like work on those weaknesses. Because in his press conference after the 20 game, it was like he has to look at himself in the mirror. Yes, you are coming to realize that it's not just the players too. Look at yourself. There are players on the pitch that, when you have a setup, we know the setup whereby players are going to perform. Like we are going to see that team play, team cohesion. But immediately we start putting in some players, or immediately some players start getting into their own type of vibe, they start losing that chemistry. And this is one of the things I think the manager should look at. It's not about the name. I don't care about the names. If his name is Onana, Bruno, whatever they likes, if you are not seeing what you are supposed to see on the pitch, take them off. The other players willing to also play. You can't keep trying the same thing over and over again. And that was the issue I had with him constantly repeating Rashford, even when Rashford was not in form. Although over the course of, I think, before this 20 game, which caused a bit of controversy, Rashford was able to pick up one goal. But like I said, I'm not really deceived with goals. I look at what you also put on the pitch. Look at Eriksen as an example. Eriksen has given the goals. At the same time, Eriksen is that glue that is responsible for the way we play now. I won't really say Bruno, but Bruno is always Bruno. He will give you the stat padding, the goals and the assists. But then again, when the goal and the assist is not coming, don't get me wrong, it's not like he's not delivering or he's not performing. But a player of his caliber, and that is what I think fans should look into very well, is the fact that when we complain about players, it's not because we just want to criticize or say, it's because we know your quality. We are expecting more
from you.
I can't expect someone like Bruno to be missing some chances or maybe to not be able to do his particular activity on this field. I will complain because I know you are not an average player in the team. You are one of the leaders in the team. You should also try to lead. So I feel like I was quite disappointed. But then again, United fans, I don't know what they see when they watch game. Is it that you just see the goals? When they play Barnsley, I already said it, I'm not moved by that 7 goals against Barnsley. If you
Performance.
watch that match, the only difference in that match is because most of their chances ended up at the back of the net. In matches when they start missing chances, the next thing we'll see, imagine these past two matches now, they were able to execute their chances. We won't remember that anything happened. But now, they did not execute their chances. What are we seeing? We start remembering that there's nothing actually in the match. So I'm quite disappointed. And I feel like Erik ten Hag can work more to get the best out of his team.
He can do better. And a trip, Manchester United have won just one of their last 9 European games. The Champions League, the Europa League, just one of their last 9 games. Do you think a better manager is around the corner who can replace Erik ten Hag and do wonders at Manchester United?
I'll keep saying it, and I won't stop saying it. What makes a good team, a good organization, is proper planning. And at the beginning of the season, when there is no proper planning, because when I start saying it now, Manchester United fans can start coming from my head again. At the beginning of the season, when there's no proper planning, these are always the results. Like I said something on one of the episodes of our podcast that at the beginning of the season for a team, there should be a plan. You should know going into the season, this is what I have. This is what I want to work with. So when you know what you want to work with, you can work towards it. Okay, going into the season, there's no changes in the team. Changes in the sense that, one, Sancho left Manchester United for Chelsea, in which, to my own perspective, is not a good move for Manchester United themselves.
You feel they don't have a better winger like
they don't have a
Jadon
better
Sancho.
winger like Jadon Sancho at the moment. Manchester United fans can say, okay, we have Ahmad, we have the likes of Garnacho. But me, myself, we all know the same, that they don't have a better winger apart from Sancho. I don't care what anybody says, but I will stand on my ground. They don't have a better winger than Sancho. And when things are like this, you winning a game out of 9 games is very bad for a team like Manchester United. I'll keep saying this. Manchester United is a team of identity. It's a team of that has reputations. They have past histories. And we can just live on past glories and just think that, okay, the media will work on my favor. So as things are like this, what I think Erik ten Hag should do is going back to the drawing board. If the big boys are not playing it, why don't we go for the small boys that are hungry for success, that are ready to do it? I am very certain there are boys in the academy that are ready to do things that the big boys are not ready to do. Maybe at the end of the day, when we can put the big boys on the bench and the small boy comes in, maybe that might even sit them up. Or for example, let's see what Barcelona are going through right now. Barcelona actually introduced the small boys into the game and it's working well for them. But only Erik ten Hag knows what he sees in every match, because what Erik ten Hag is seeing, we are not seeing the same.
and he's more of a gaslighter. He comes into the press conference and see another thing.
Yes,
like
he says something. Well. He says something that I'm not really pleased with. I won't say annoyed, because I don't want to use that kind of word on this show. He said something. He said he loves the energy in which his boys are bringing into the game. Is it about the energy you are bringing into the game, or the energy you put into the game when the game is going on? Energy, you can bring a good energy into the game, and the other people that are coming, their energy are more even bigger than yours. So you have to work, you have to do the workings, and it must happen on the pitch. So you don't have any clue right now. We all know it. All Manchester United fans knows it. Erik ten Hag doesn't have a clue of what is going on. He doesn't have a clue of the solution ahead. He doesn't know what else to do to eradicate what is going on. But right now, we are giving him the advice, we are giving him the option that, okay, go back to the drawing board. Bring the smaller boys that are hungry for success. Let them try it. There's no difference from you using academy boys and you using those big boys.
Which manager would you suggest that they go for if Erik ten Hag should be shown the door?
If Erik ten Hag should be shown the door.
You have managers who are currently unemployed.
Yes.
Let me list them for you. You have players, managers like Thomas Tuchel. You have a certain Zidane. Graham Potter is there. Gareth Southgate is also there as well.
Yeah. I think this down period of Manchester United, I think with Zinedine Zidane pedigree, I think he won't want to go to Manchester United. We all know that, because he won't want something that is going to spoil, tarnish his image or his reputation. I think the best man for the job right now is going to be Thomas Tuchel.
Okay, Thomas Tuchel.
Yes.
Which manager would you go for?
Well, in as much as I don't know, because I'm a United fan, so I basically see whatever goes on in Manchester United more than any other person. So to me, I feel like there is already a part. I know we all see it, but we all act as if we don't see it. We already have a coach. Even if Erik ten Hag is shown the door, which is Wood Van Nistelrooy. Eventually, I feel like that is one of the reasons why, in as much as
bro, that's my plan to fire. Van Nistelrooy shown the door, and Erik shown the door, and bringing in Van Nistelrooy.
Thomas Tuchel,
It shows what is wrong with the team.
Thomas
the
Tuchel,
manager, they are all the same.
no, a Thomas,
Van Nistelrooy taking over.
a Thomas Tuchel is not going to undo Manchester United. A Thomas Tuchel, because he was the prime candidate to replace Erik ten Hag last season until there was Thomas Tuchel. Until there was a certain condition he could not. I think he was saying something as regards to the environment of Manchester United is not that. Because there's something you have to understand. No matter how good all managers you want to call are so good, Manchester United is not a playing ground.
Yes.
When you get there, you understand what is actually going on.
Yes.
Ask all the previous manager, ask previous players. You will understand.
When you look at Manchester United as a young man, you are certainly going to live as an old man.
Let's talk about an old man who just went into retirement, and we dropped the link out there that you people should give us your own unapologetic football takes that you don't want to say in front of anybody, but you anonymously you can tell football nothing crew, and you did very well. About an old man, Drogba Varane, he has retired from international football right now, and someone dropped one unapologetic take about Varane. The person said, I'm going to read it out. Varane is an overrated defender. He is only lucky to have played in Real Madrid team. He is the same as Samuel Umtiti. Erik, is that sense or nonsense? Let me ask you first. You see sense is that?
We all know one thing, and we won't shy away from the fact that when there are some certain teams whereby when you play for, you don't have there's no excuse in you saying you are trying your best. You have to put in your best because you are definitely replaceable. So for Rafael Varane to use so many years in Real Madrid, not benched, not having this kind of mind that we want to replace this certain player. Real Madrid is definitely one of the biggest clubs in the world, if not the biggest. We all know that. So for him to survive in Real Madrid for those longer years, I don't think it's overrated. I can say it's underrated to my own perspective. Because you playing for Real Madrid is not an opportunity. Is one of the biggest things you can always hold as a player. And you
going by your word, so a player like Mariano Diaz, who plays for the prestigious Real Madrid, is a good player.
Sorry, don't quote me wrong.
That's what you are telling us right now.
I said one thing the other time. I said you being a starter for Real Madrid. I never said you can play for Real Madrid and be on the bench.
Yeah. I get
but
it.
you starting for Real Madrid can get any players they want. They can definitely get anyone they want. But you being a starter for Real Madrid, it shows you are not an average player. You are definitely good. So I don't see the reason why someone that plays for Real Madrid, he won a lot of trophies. I don't see why people will come outside and call him an overrated player.
So according to you, going by what you have said right now, everyone that plays for Real Madrid and is starting for Real Madrid over the years, they are good players.
Don't quote me wrong, and you can also quote me right. What I'm trying to say is that anybody that can start for Real Madrid
they are
in a Real Madrid
they are
team,
good players.
Just
have a tendency to break into any European team.
Thank you.
Because they are one of the best teams in the world. And certainly any players you see in Real Madrid, definitely you have it at the back of your mind that this guy is good. Even if he's not performing right now, you have a futuristic plan for him. An example is Vinicius Jr. When he came into Real Madrid, he wasn't performing so good. But there is this kind of futuristic plan that maybe this guy can improve in time. So you playing for Real Madrid, starting for Real Madrid, you are not being put in the bench.
It's not being.
Okay. You know there is a certain myth that defenders that play with Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool are always considered to be good because he brings the best out of their CB partners.
Okay.
Don't you think Rafael Varane only benefited from an informed Sergio Ramos back then, where Sergio Ramos was in his prime then?
You should remember that as compared to the case of Virgil van Dijk, which all respect to Van Dijk, one thing about Varane you should know is he covers most of the lapses of Sergio Ramos. You should know that. Ramos is, of course, the coordinator from the back. But you should understand that one of the reasons why Varane mostly enters the team is there are lapses. There is that speed that he possesses that he offers to the team. Because, Sergio Ramos is that type of player that always goes out of position. You should always consider that in as much as everything. And like he said, if you play for Real Madrid, especially when you are a starter, I don't know what you want to say. As far as you are using the word good, yes, you are good. As far as you are using the word good and not SSXL, but to the extent, to play for Madrid is not an easy thing.
Yes.
Remember, for the past 10 years, they've won the Champions League. I think it's more than 5 times or so. I can't even remember. So for you to play for Real Madrid, but that
Lucas Vazquez is playing for Real Madrid, do you know?
He's good. He's good. But he's not a starter, but he's good.
He's good.
He's good. That's why I said the word good.
Really?
The word good. But at the same time, you should remember that for the past how many seasons now, using the word overrated, Varane is not a what will I call it? A Phil Jones. Varane is not. Mention those defenders that you don't. When you are saying someone is overrated, it's like the person does not even have the quality.
When you're talking about all-timer centre backs, can you name Varane the 1 to 50? All-timer centre backs.
Well,
when you're talking about the great centre backs of the game.
Yeah. Well, probably it might not.
So if it's not even there, then this take is correct that he's overrated. He's only lucky to be in the Madrid team.
Let me
He said he's lucky to be there. Remember,
are you telling me that a player we can't rate among the all-timer is overrated? We have a lot.
Too much.
We have a lot of good players.
We have too much.
You can't rate them among the greatest of all time. We have a lot.
Are you sure?
A lot of them.
But if you are going to place you in that upper echelon of
remember Varane was the captain of the France national team. Regardless of anytime he's available, Varane is starting. Yes. And he won the World Cup at the same time.
Ugo Lloris was the captain back then.
Oh no, I mean after Ugo Lloris. Okay. So like as the the number one defender for France, as at the time he was available.
Yeah.
Although Umtiti was also there, but then again, Varane was always considered number one. So you should, for you to now say that kind of player is overrated. Come on. Okay, there are levels to this thing, bro. Right, let's try to make use of our word very well.
Let me leave that to the viewers. Tom, there is another unapologetic take here, and this one, even to say it out right now, I need to cover my mouth. Someone said Lampard is the most overrated midfielder to play in the Premier League, but people are not ready for that conversation yet. Wow.
You
Chelsea
ask them,
legend Frank Lampard.
You ask them what conversation do they want to actually have.
So the person is saying Lampard is the most overrated midfielder to play in the Premier League.
Should I tell you something? Let me say a bit. I can say I agree with
that's
this person. Reason is that Frank Lampard is a Chelsea legend. He's not my legend.
I love that.
Frank Lampard is a Chelsea legend. He's not my legend. Frank Lampard is good for Chelsea. But we all know it. We just don't want to say it. A lot of modern day team. Frank Lampard will never have a space in the team.
Are you sure?
Yes.
You know football have changed so much that I think there's this recency bias. So you understand with players. What the kind of quality we see back then was more of individual. You understand? Lampard, these are the type of players that individually can decide the outcome of matches or how a matches go. A Lampard, come on, is the way you are putting it. I don't know what type of midfielder have you seen. What type of midfielder have you seen?
I guess you are trying to follow the hype.
What type of midfielder have you seen in recent time that has the kind of qualities those type of midfielder?
What special qualities does Frank Lampard
what special quality are we talking about?
The only thing you can say about Lampard is he score goals.
Is it that special?
He score goals. That goes. No, if you're talking about.
Hold on. That goes is the same thing you guys are using to rate the current set of players.
No. Frank Lampard is just a low budget Gerrard.
Even Chelsea fan, you know.
Frank Lampard is just a low budget Gerrard.
Even when they are talking about all-timer midfielders in England, people like Gerrard, Paul Scholes, they will always be ahead of Frank Lampard.
It's just a low budget Gerrard.
When you're talking
I'm not saying they won't be ahead, but saying he's overrated.
Yeah, if they can call him an overrated midfielder.
The highest goal scoring midfielder after Bruno Fernandes, I think.
That's fine. You can be the highest goal scoring midfielder, but when you're talking about a complete midfielder, someone that can play as a defensive midfielder, someone that can play as a number 8, number 10, Don't you think this take there's a little bit of sense in it, just like Erik said?
There's a lot of sense in it, and I'll keep saying it.
In
It's
this-
just a low budget Gerrard.
In this same current generation where you guys rate midfielders with goals and assists. Come on.
Okay, somebody said no Madrid midfield combination is as great as Xavi, Busquets, and Iniesta. For context, let me remind you guys, there's a certain Madrid midfield combination that we are going to use. Toni Kroos, Modric, and Casemiro. These were guys that won a lot of Champions League back to back.
Yeah.
But the Xavi, Busquets, and Iniesta, they conquered the world, not only in the Barcelona team, they did it in the Spanish national team as well. They were so feared all around the world. Erik, do you think there is sense in what this person said, or is nonsense?
There's a big sense in it because sorry to say, don't quote me because I'm a Barcelona fan.
No.
I'm speaking
You've not-
neutrally as a football fan.
You've not even
I'm
had
speaking
my
neutrally
idea.
as a football fan. We all know what Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta did
All right.
when they played together in Barcelona. I don't think we should even debate about this because we all know what they've done. Should we talk about the play, the combination, the teamwork, the primeness when it comes to playing good football? I believe one thing about Madrid is that Madrid has this policy of bringing stars from every corner, bringing stars from here, joining them together to become one. But the evolution of Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta is so good. The three of them are just normal average players, and they actually brought them together, and they actually worked. They worked hand in hand. We all know the evolution of Luka Modric. We know the evolution of Toni Kroos. Which other guy did you?
Casemiro.
We know the evolution of Casemiro. Apart from Casemiro, Toni Kroos, Luka Modric. We know the evolution. Coming into Real Madrid, they are not average players. We know when Luka Modric was in Spurs.
Tottenham.
We know how good he was. We know how good Toni Kroos was. So bringing him in is like you bringing up a star. You're bringing a star to the team. But Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta is like you gambling. Let's put these boys on the field. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, I think they were La Masia boys, I think.
So
right?
to me,
Sergio Busquets was brought from La Masia. Xavi and Iniesta were already in the team. Pep came, yeah.
I agree with the point.
How about you, HO?
Well, one thing I'll say is when I look at maybe in terms of trophies, those three combination of Madrid won Champions League. At the same time, I think Kroos won the World Cup. But in terms of, I don't want to use Hazard word. Don't let me call it pure football because all of them play pure football. But then again, in terms of what Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta brings to play, remember, those guys played me 2 times in the Champions League final. I watched those 2 matches and at least
let me remind you.
At least there's limit in as much as that's why I said in terms of maybe trophies and personal achievement. Say Modric has a Ballon d'Or. You get me? Then at the same time, Kroos, of course, Kroos is Kroos. But when I look at in terms of the combination, I still feel I'll go for a Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta combination. Because remember, as at then, they took the world. Barcelona was not just Barcelona. Barcelona was an extension of Spain. So if you are seeing Barcelona, you are seeing Spain. If you check Spanish midfield, is always Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta. They always find a way to accommodate them in. So in terms of the football and the quality they possess with the ball and their combination, I mean the way they combine with the ball.
Those 3 guys are bigger than those guys that won back-to-back Champions League, something that has never been repeated.
That's why I said
now.
if you are to look at the trophies, I might change my mind.
Go. Winning back-to-back Champions League is not fluke.
I understand that. So that's why I said if we are to look at trophies and individual awards, those other 3 of Madrid add it more.
So you agree with the fact that Real Madrid midfield is a greater combination than Sergio Busquets, Iniesta.
Thank God you have quoted the word better combination. Thank you.
Yeah, so that means this take is right.
I agree.
Okay, HO is agreeing that Real Madrid's midfield combination of Sergio Busquets, Toni Kroos, Casemiro, and Modric. You are saying it right now.
Barcelona combination. I said Barcelona combination of.
Be straightforward.
I'm straightforward. Barcelona combination of Xavi, Iniesta, and Busquets is a better combination than. That is just my
Let
own
me
take.
give you clap.
That's just my own take. If you want to look at the trophy, you can say that on another side. But in terms of combination, I'll go with Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets any day.
Okay, let me tell you the last one. The last one is a very, very funny one. Somebody sent this and he said, an injury-free Dembele is better than Vinicius Junior. Wow.
I'll just
That's
laugh.
a big one.
I'll just
Sense
laugh.
or nonsense, H2O.
I'll just laugh.
Sense or nonsense?
One thing I'll first say is our boy Vinicius is being rated as the next Ballon d'Or nominee. I don't think Dembele has been in that category. It might be maybe top 30, but being considered as you will win the Ballon d'Or, that's different. One thing about Dembele is I think the injury impeded his growth. I won't lie.
That's what
I
this
won't
take
lie.
is all about.
But then again,
an injury-free Dembele. Just imagine a Dembele doesn't have injury.
he has been given chances after the injury. Dembele is one type of player that I've seen that he still plays like the Dembele I have always known. You know, one thing about Vinicius, like you say, when Vinicius started, he looks like, who is this? You understand? But along the line, you saw that character build in him, and you see that upward trajectory in his game. So saying if injury and the likes, I don't want to know whether you call injury or no injury. I don't really think that take
A triple save his boy. Dembele
it.
has played for Barca before. Don't you agree with this take that an injury-free Dembele is better than Vini?
Let me tell you the honest truth. I don't have much to say. Let me ask you a question. What's the criteria of winning a 3 points in a game?
Winning.
What's the
Goals.
criteria of winning?
Goals.
Are you telling me someone that dribbles like an headless chicken for all throughout a game, and when it gets in front of the post, his decision making is so poor? Are you telling me that one is better than Vinicius? Dembele is a kind of player whereby when you see him, you just say, "Wow, this talent."
That's just one thing about him.
He's full of talent. But what I believe is that the talent Dembele has is his biggest flaws. He's a kind of player that is built whereby he shouldn't have that much of talent, and it's affecting him real bad. When it comes to decision making, Dembele is bad. When you need him the most, he's not always there. When he plays, sometimes he's always good, whereby you say, "Wow, this is the best player in the world," and sometimes you just look at, what is this guy doing here?
Imagine.
I can remember vividly the World Cup final. He performed so bad. He was not even in the game. So I don't see why you would debate a Vinicius Junior, someone that entertaining. I won't say because I'm a Barcelona player. Someone entertaining.
Dembele can also be entertaining
decision
sometimes.
making, nice assist. Sometimes Dembele will even have a chance to assist you. Rather, you just play it up there.
I can remember this.
So Vinicius is far better than him. It's not a debate.
Let me move to Start One, Sell One edition, and I have 3 wonderful strikers that I'm bringing to your table. So if you're at home right now that you are watching, you can
personal player no did here.
Arsenal player is there. An ex-Arsenal legend is there. If you're at home watching this right now, get ready for Start One, Sell One, and Sub One. You are going to do it as well. 3 wonderful strikers: Drogba, Thierry Henry, and Wayne Rooney. You are a manager. You have to make this bold decision. Start one of them, throw one on the bench, and tell one of them to pack his bags and leave your team. Didier Drogba, Thierry Henry, and Wayne Rooney. What will you be doing, H2?
One thing is, I respect Thierry Henry, aka Igwe. I respect him a lot. But there's one thing I love most about Wayne Rooney. When Cristiano Ronaldo was in Manchester United, he scored goals, he creates chances, a lot of assists. So if I want a player for my team, I think I'll put Wayne Rooney on the field because I know he's someone that can multitask. He can offer me a lot. He has a lot to offer me on the pitch.
Yeah, a lot of
so I will put Igwe on the bench because I know when I need goals, Igwe will be there for me.
When you need a new dimension,
he's going to call me. Didier Drogba, I'm very sorry.
So Drogba can also promise you goals now.
Drogba can promise you goals.
Can you compare it to Igwe? Henry.
Drogba scored so many goals.
No. I'm very sorry. I will loan. I won't sell Drogba. I will loan him to Lyon.
You are selling a Chelsea legend, Didier Drogba.
I will sell him to Lyon. So
the man that won African Footballer of the Year so many times. I believe H2O will say another thing.
In as much as I think I started watching. I watched Drogba. I watched Wayne Rooney, by the time I started watching Igwe, in as much as there's the highlights and the likes, I watched him. He was at Barcelona then.
Okay,
Because I can remember I was probably in primary 2. I drew a picture of Igwe because as I love there's this, this our exercise book that used to have all the drawings of Ronaldinho. Idolized. No, all respect to Igwe, but in terms of as a striker, I'd start with Rooney. When Rooney he offers more. He offers just a lot more. When Rooney in your team is a very, very dangerous player to have. Whether it's just like how we see Erik these days. Erik offers you more in attack. At the same time, it drops down and also offers you assist and combinations with other players. The only reason why I want to put Drogba on the bench is because compared to Igwe and Rooney, compared to Drogba in comparing to other one, is a different type of striker compared to those two. Those two are, I think, they have a good rapport with the ball, like they probably good ball carriers or the likes. But in terms of Drogba offers you that presence on the pitch, in the box, especially on the pitch. I do remember his signature move where he always chest the ball and just turn around and just eat. So I think and especially with the kind of difference in play as compared to Igwe and Wayne Rooney, I think I'll put Drogba on the bench because I don't want to have the same quality of players on the pitch. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, so
Igwe
is telling Thierry Henry to pack his bags and leave his team if he's the manager. Let's know what you will do. Let's tell us in the comment section if you are the manager. These 3 wonderful footballers are at your disposal: Thierry Henry, Wayne Rooney, and of course Didier Drogba. Which of them would you be starting? Which of them would you be selling? And who is dropping on the bench? Let's know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's talk about the matches that we have this weekend. There are a lot of interesting games over the weekend. We have a certain Newcastle versus Manchester City. That was a game last season that Newcastle won some, Man City won some. Going into this game, Man City are coming from that 2-2 draw against Arsenal. They need to go back to winning ways. And of course, St. James's Park is one of the crazy football theaters you want to go to in England.
Yeah.
So what's your prediction, A-Trip, about the game? Newcastle versus Man City. What's your prediction?
Man City are definitely coming out with a win because they want to bounce back.
Definitely. Don't you think the St. James's Park atmosphere can affect it?
Atmosphere won't affect Pep. I think he's always guided. So Man City are definitely coming out with a win.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your score prediction?
Let me say 2-1.
2-1.
Yes.
Okay. How about you, H2?
For me, I feel Man City will come with the win. Newcastle have not been that superb at the beginning of this season, as we all know. So I still feel City will come out with a win, especially with after labeling their brothers. Would I call them their brothers? Fellow Dark Arts member, Arsenal, because they are both Dark Arts people. So I don't know where they are looking for their Dark Arts. So I feel like Man City will come out with a win. Because that has been a draw, and at the same time, there are a lot of noise around at this point in time. So I think City, probably a 3-0, 2-1 type of victory.
Okay. Arsenal are hosting Leicester City. During this midweek, there were a lot of mixed feelings for Arsenal fans. The PGMOL is about to take serious consideration into their reports about dark art. The people have complained that they use dark art in their football. They waste time. They try to remove players, goalkeeper gloves and the likes. And of course, they won a convincing victory against Bolton Wanderers, the League One side. So going into this game, it's just like we have mixed feelings that we need to prove a point that we are in the title race. We are not only good with dark art, we are good at ball playing as well. We can do it without Martin Odegaard. What do you think will happen in the game? Arsenal versus Leicester City.
That's no homo. That's a no-brainer. Arsenal coming out on top because with what happened against Manchester City, they actually played so well. They played so well. Though they actually stood their ground, defended all the ball. It was a bit pragmatic, but this period, I believe they want to bounce back to winning ways, in which and Leicester City are not that really in form. So I believe they will teach Leicester City a lesson.
H2O, Jamie Vardy, one of the veteran strikers in the English Premier League, is going there. Don't you think Jamie Vardy will give them a headache?
I think that's one person that might in as much as he has passed that stage, but then again, you believe those kind of players might actually turn up and cause troubles on that day. And I think Vardy has a kind of record against Arsenal, I think, yeah. So, but in as much as that is concerned, I think Declan Rice and Partey, they are available.
Yeah, they are available.
So, I still feel like Arsenal will have to come out to prove a point, in as much as, to me, yeah, there is really nothing like dark art. This has always been existent in football. Some call it tactics. Something about the world of football, life generally, is when you place names to things, you kind of forget that you are only putting your bias on those things. You are calling it dark art for Arsenal. Now, this thing has been in existence for a long while, for so long, with different things, and they call it tactics. So that is why, in as much as I'm not too happy with Arsenal's approach, their pragmatic approach is still tactics. So call it whatever they like, but I still feel like Arsenal still, I think they will still come out on top, but I think it might be kind of shaky at first, but then again, I believe they should be able to
score prediction.
2 Arsenal.
A trip score prediction for Arsenal Leicester before we go on.
Jamie Vardy will worry a bit. Let's say 3-1.
3-1. Okay.
Right.
Let's go to Chelsea and Brighton. Enzo Maresca's men are winning so many games right now. It seems the players have bought into the idea very well. They are doing so very, very well right now. And there's Fabian Uzela, the Brighton head coach. I think under him is the youngest manager in the Premier League now.
Yeah.
But he's doing so well. They are doing so very well. That's going to be a very, very tough game for Chelsea. What's your prediction for the game?
I see it as it's going to be a tough game. Let me call it tough. But one thing is that I think I've been hearing side noise as regards to Chelsea. But one thing Chelsea fans should know is that just hope that Brighton don't clean up their chances, like they don't execute their chances. Because one thing about Chelsea, I've been hearing this thing from Chelsea fans is, well, we don't have a problem. We'll sit back and we'll play. We allow you to play so that we can eat you on the counter where we have 4 to 5 players. And I think that is one thing they can use to hurt Brighton. Because remember, Brighton's style of play is always, they're always out. And by the time you catch them on the counter, there's always an issue. And with the caliber of player Chelsea has now, hopefully Jackson comes with his scoring boots. The kind of player they have, there is always going to be an issue for Brighton. So, but then again, in a situation where Chelsea defense has been shaky, same thing with their midfield. So I still feel like if it is a good day for Brighton on all sides, Chelsea fan, it might be a long weekend for you. But then again, I'll predict you can't really predict Chelsea sometimes. You might feel they will disappoint you and they'll just come up with one miraculous victory.
So your score prediction?
I'll still go with probably, I still think Brighton will beat them. Probably a 2-1 type of victory, 3-2 type of victory for Brighton.
In favor of Brighton. That's a bold prediction. A-Trip, Chelsea and Brighton.
Brighton has been in a very good form recently, and Chelsea's form we can't underrate Chelsea's form.
Of course.
So with the look of things, with what I've seen so far, it's going to be a tough, a very good contest between the both teams. So at the end of the day, I have this kind of little belief that the match might end as a draw.
Do you expect Nicolas Jackson to continue his goal scoring form, or you think that will be the end of that goal scoring form? It's just a one-off.
Nicolas Jackson will actually try. It will try because he is actually in form right now. When a player is scoring, they match in, match out, and your teammates they actually believe in you. They know you can always do it. You have this kind of confidence that, okay, I can still do it in this coming match. Let me impress the boys again. So I think Nicolas Jackson might get an assist in the level of trying to score a goal. So at the end of the day, the match will definitely end in a draw because both teams are actually in form.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Okay, so Liverpool are traveling to Molineux Park to visit Wolverhampton Wanderers. That's a game that Wolves, we all know Gary O'Neill is a manager who set up his team tactically, defensively solid. Is that going to be a problem for Liverpool to break them down at Molineux? Is that going to be a problem for Liverpool?
I don't think so. I've watched a Wolverhampton against Chelsea. I think that was that match that ended in a very, very bad way. So I still feel, in as much as they were very open against Chelsea, I don't know if they've made changes as regards to that. But then again, a Liverpool team with what I've seen in this previous, I think
Games.
2 matches, yeah, they are a team in high spirits, especially in terms of all the players in the team. I think it will be very, very difficult for you to pick out a Liverpool player that is currently not in form, even though he is on the bench. Call Gakpo, call the likes, yeah, everybody's willing to come on and do something. So for Wolves, I think their defensive shape will be tested again, because one thing about Liverpool that I always know is they are very, very clinical with chances, and that is why they don't need too much chances to show that they will kill off the game. So
prediction?
I feel 2-0 Liverpool win.
2-0 Liverpool. A trip. Wolverhampton Wanderers and Liverpool.
That's not the new thing, because over the past few matches we've known how well Wolves are always into the team when they are playing against Liverpool. They are always in high spirits during the first half of the match, but second half of the match is always nothing to write home about.
Yeah, they lose concentration.
The spirit, the zeal is always down. And the, one thing about Wolves is that one thing that is always killing Wolves is that, you know, bringing a lot of energy into the team, into the match, in which that same energy you can't continue along the line with that same energy. So that is really going to kill that. And a team that is going to bring an energy into a match against Liverpool, you must be fully ready, because you know Liverpool are a team in which from A to Z,
it's all about the intensity.
It's all about the intensity. It's all about the energy. So at the end of the day, I believe Liverpool will surely beat them.
Score prediction.
Let's say a 3-1.
A 3-1 victory.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to high-flying Barcelona right now. They are traveling to Osasuna. This is a game whereby a lot of people expect Barca to win. Do you think Osasuna can cause an upset?
With the current form Barcelona is in, it's very, very difficult to see a team that will overturn them. Remember, the only match they have lost, I think that's the only match against Monaco.
Monaco, yeah, the Champions League.
The Champions League.
They are still unbeaten in the league.
They had a red card.
Yeah,
so it's difficult to say a team in that much form, especially with the form of players like Yamal, Rafinha, and I think Lewandowski also in terms of goals is giving that output as compared to how it was last season. So I feel there's really not much of an upset to expect from that angle. It takes a lot, especially a high-scoring team, to beat this current Barcelona. So if you want to beat Barcelona, I feel you should score more than them, or probably you play Arsenal's approach, that type of thing. But if you're not doing that, I really don't think you have.
It's going to be a long day.
Yeah, so I still feel Barcelona is going to come out on top.
It's a trip. Osasuna and Barcelona.
That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer, because Barcelona form recently, we can see those boys are in high spirits, and you know they are really ready to work, because what happened last season was Barcelona having issues when it comes to away games, in which it really affected the team. You know, when Barcelona goes to away games, it's always very hard for them putting the ball at the back of the net. So with what we are seeing right now, only this is football. Anything can happen.
Of course.
But with the recent form we have on ground, Osasuna not being in a real good form this season, they are trying to pick themselves up. I think Barcelona are going to come out with a victory, because if not 2-0.
Okay, 2-0 in favor of
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Okay, then the big Madrid derby, Atletico de Madrid and Real Madrid. That's a very big one. Every season is always very, very intense. Diego Simeone and Don Carlo Ancelotti. Your score prediction, and how do you think the game will pan out?
I'm quite skeptical as regards to this. I think, or I feel, Madrid might not come out victorious in that match. I've not really been convinced.
There is no Kylian Mbappe.
I know about that. There's not much conviction as regards to Madrid this season, to me. And at the same time, looking at their previous, I think last 2 games, especially last season, they had difficulties with handling this Atletico Madrid. In as much, I think they defeated them maybe once or so. Yes. But then again, in subsequent matches, we had to see high goal scoring, and at the same time, the battle and the like. So probably a draw or a slim Atletico Madrid win.
Okay. The Madrid derby, a trip.
We all know the Madrid derby is always dramatic every night, and you can expect the unexpected. And sometimes what you think might, end up going against you, because Atletico Madrid, they are in good form, and it's going to be a test of fate for both of the teams, because they have had really good signing when it comes to the attacking line. They have this kind of good signing, and I believe any team that comes out on top is going to be a real motivation. No, quote me right. It's going to be a very dramatic match
Dramatic
because
match.
it has always been dramatic. That's Madrid derby for you. But at the end of the day, honestly speaking, I expect Atletico Madrid to come out on top.
Okay, Manchester United and Spurs. That's always a dramatic game in English football.
United fans, United fans, face me. If you know you want to go and watch that game, just zero your mind. I'm not expecting anything on Sunday. I think
Yeah.
I'm not expecting anything.
So they are coming. They are coming to Old Trafford.
To Old Trafford, it's still the same thing.
Score prediction.
United can be surprising at times. I still believe we might do something to Angie. So probably but I know we are going to concede. That's for sure. Probably a 2-1 type of victory to either side.
In favor of Manchester United.
In favor of both sides.
No, you have to be straightforward. In favor of Manchester United. H1 is saying Manchester United.
As a United fan, yes, in favor of United.
Okay.
2-1.
H3.
Those are games that gives Erik that hope. That okay, I think I'm still on point. I think I can still do it. I believe he's going to come out on top, and that is really I want him to lose against them so they can see the bigger picture that this man has nothing to offer. But I believe he's going to come out on top.
I trust and I when it comes to
that kind of reassurance that okay, this man can still offer us something. Manchester United are definitely going to win the match.
Okay.
Of course, that's what Erik Ten Hag can give in big matches.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. So to wrap up the podcast, let's do a quick combine 11 of Spurs and Manchester United.
All right, let's
So
go.
let me start with you,
Let's get
H2O. Onana and Vicario.
Oh, Onana.
Onana, okay. Mazraoui and Pedro Porro.
Pedro Porro.
Pedro Porro, okay. Romeo and Matisse Delete.
Romeo, delete.
Delete.
I go with delete.
Okay. Mickey Van de Ven and Lisandro Martinez.
Lisandro Martinez.
Going for
I don't need
Martinez.
to think about that.
Ugarte and Bissouma.
Bissouma, for now. Bissouma.
Papesa and Kobe Mino.
Kobe Menu.
Okay. Bruno Fernandes and James Maddison.
I'm quite skeptical, but I'll still go with a Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, I'll go with Bruno Fernandes.
Wow. Heung-min Son and Marcus Rashford.
There's no day you ever call any player to Rashford, and I won't choose another player over him. A Heung-min Son.
Kulusevski and Amad Diallo.
Kulusevski is a very, very important, very important player.
Good work rate.
So you're going
So
for Kulusevski.
I'll still go for Kulusevski based on, based on what I've seen. Amad Diallo has just been this season, so I'll still go with Kulusevski.
Dominic Solanke and Joshua Zirkzee.
God, there is an issue. Dominic or Joshua Zirkzee. I'll go with Zirkzee. Let me be partial there. I'll go with Zirkzee.
Okay, let's go to a trip. Onana and Vicario.
Vicario, of course.
Okay. Mazraoui and Pedro Porro.
Pedro Porro. He has the experience.
Christian Romero and Matisse Delete.
Delete, of course.
Okay. Mickey Van de Ven and Lisandro Martinez.
Lisandro.
Ugarte and Bissouma.
I could have gone for Ugarte, but based on Premier League experience, let me go for Bizuma.
Yeah.
Papesa and Kobe Mino.
Mainu.
Okay. Bruno Fernandes and James Maddison.
The changer, Bruno Fernandes.
Heung-min Son and Marcus Rashford.
Son, of course.
Kulusevski and Amad Diallo.
Kulusevski.
Solanke or Joshua Zirkzee.
Solanke.
Okay. Which of them has drawn the best of the best combined 11 out of Manchester United and Spurs? This has been a very wonderful episode of Football or Nothing. Thank you for sticking around to watch this episode to the very end. If you're on YouTube right now, kindly tap the subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell notification icon so that you will be notified when we drop something on the page. Remember, we don't always drop podcasts. We drop a lot of things. You can check our FPA content. You can take Tactical Zone as well. And we have a lot of games coming up as well. So this channel is a very interesting channel for you as a football fan. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend about Football or Nothing. So till I see you guys on the next episode of Football or Nothing, I remain your humble host on this show. My name is Tik Kenny, and I want to thank A3 for coming along.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And of course, H2O, thank you very much for coming
welcome.
on.
We'll see you again.
We'll see you guys on the next episode of Fun. Till then, have fun, guys.